I've lived in East Bristol now for nearly 30 years, and that's the main reason why local people here in St George have asked me to stand as the Labour candidate in May's local elections. They'd like me to join Ron Stone, who's the local councillor for the area. I've known Ron for a long period of time, and that's why both of us think that we'd make an excellent team here for people in St George West. I'm standing in the park here in St George, which is really at the heart of what people think of as being St George. And the thing about the park is that it represents a lot of things about the area. It's got improvements, many of which have been brought about by Labour politicians here in St George, but it also represents areas where we need to make some improvements. People in the area have told me that they're really worried about what's going to happen as a result of the election of the Conservative and Liberal Democrat government. And what we've got to do, working together, is make sure that local people have the local services that they've come to expect to be delivered, to be preserved, and in fact to be improved. That's what I'm about. The area has changed a lot over the years since I've known it, but one thing that sticks out in my mind is a very crucial thing, and that's the spirit of local people. The area might have changed a bit, but there is still that strong community spirit that exists in St George, and everybody speaks of it with a great deal of pride. So what we've got to do is work together, and what I want to do is work on behalf of people here in St George, but my message is very simple. Come and join us in our campaign to preserve things that are good about St George, preserve the services that I think we're entitled to expect, but also to give a very clear message. That clear message is to the present Liberal Democrat Council that we're no longer prepared to be ignored. And the second part of the message that I think is very important for local people is to make it clear that we're not prepared to put up with the sort of things that I know and you know are going to be done to people here in the area as the result of the election of a Conservative government. The final point, from my point of view, is this: that we need to stand together. We need to get rid of local Liberal Democrats that don't listen to what people want. And lastly, the clear message to the government that we're prepared to stand together and do things and work together and respect what local people's views are in terms of what's best for St George.